Recently, I did something that made me absolutely sick to my stomach, especially as a time management coach. What did I do? I missed a meeting with a reporter, like completely missed it. She had reached out to me because she wanted to schedule a call with me so she could interview me about how to have a disconnected vacation, right? How to take a vacation without checking your email or anything like that. She had actually seen one of my YouTube videos about this and thought, I want to interview her. She reached out to me. We scheduled it, and then I just completely missed it. Now, as someone who prides myself on accountability, this hurt me to my core. But I'm not here to just talk about how bad this was, although I will share with you a little bit more about it. I'm here to tell you how I dealt with it, right? What did I do after I made this ginormous mistake? Because that's what actually matters. The reality is that you and me and everyone else, we are all going to make big mistakes. We're going to make big mistakes at work. We're going to make big mistakes at home. And when we make mistakes, it's really important that, well, at least to me, that we come out of that feeling good, right? With our head held high. We're all going to make mistakes. It happens, but how do we fix that? So I want to tell you a little bit more about how this happened for me. How did I, somebody who is, really good at my calendar generally, miss this really important meeting just totally and completely? So what happened was that she reached out to me. She was on a deadline. I don't usually work on Fridays, but she needed to meet with me quickly. And I thought, you know what? I have a work adjacent call with another coach scheduled on Friday. So I will schedule this meeting for right after that call. And it'll be fine because I'll be on my computer anyways. So I'll get the little notification that it'll come up and blah, blah, blah. What happened in the end is that I ended up taking that call not from my computer. I ended up taking it from my phone. And I don't have any notifications on my phone, which serves me well most of the time, right? This is usually really good for me. But in this case, my call ran long, I had no notification, and I just completely whiffed it. Now, how badly did I whiff it? So badly that I did not even realize that I had missed it until Monday. When I was back in my email again. And what happened was I saw this email from this woman asking me, hey, are you okay? I'm in the Zoom and you're not there. I hope that everything's fine. And I immediately felt horrible, like my face bright red, so flushed. I immediately had heart pitter-pattering because I just knew I had screwed this up really badly. And I think I can count on one hand or maybe one finger the number of times that I have actually missed a meeting with anyone in my life, because I have lots of systems, but this time my systems failed me. So I want to share with you a 4-step framework. And this is a framework that I have taught to literally everyone that I have ever worked with. And I have used it with pretty much everyone in my life whenever I have made a giant mistake. And let me just tell you, I have made lots of mistakes, and I bet you have too, even if you don't want to admit it. And even if we wish we wouldn't make mistakes again, you know what? We're going to make mistakes. We're human. It's going to happen. And so this 4-step framework is something that I have used throughout my career. It has always allowed me to come out of my mistakes with 3 things intact. And so these are showing that I am capable, I am teachable, and that I'm accountable, most importantly. So I'm going to share this framework with you because I think that it can be really valuable for the next time you make a mistake, which I'm sorry to say is going to happen. So when you make a mistake, the first thing that you have to do, you have to own it, right? And I'm not even getting to the 4-step thing yet. You just have to own it. You have to tell whoever it is that you screwed up with that you screwed up. And I'm going to tell you after I share with you this framework exactly what I did to make it right with this reporter. Show you how it works in practice. So you have to own it. You do not want anyone to hear about your mistake from anyone but you. We don't want to sweep it under the rug. We don't want to hope that, nobody figures it out. If we make a mistake and it's going to affect people, we need to let them know. Right? So we need to take ownership immediately, show that you are accountable and that it was a big deal, because it was, right? It affected somebody else. So after we do that, we're going to answer 4 questions. That's it. We're going to answer 4 questions and we're going to do it up front. The first question is, what happened? Like, what actually happened? The second question is, how did it happen? Like, what are the things that led to this mistake happening? The third thing is, what are you doing to fix it? Or better yet, what have you already done to fix it? And then lastly, it is, what are you doing to ensure that it never happens again, right? I don't know about you, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I try never to make the same mistake twice. When you use this framework with other people, they don't have anything else to say, right? Those are the questions they were going to ask you anyway. So when you come out front with these, and you don't have to say question 1, answer, question 2, answer, right? But when you come up and you say, you know what, I made a mistake. Here's what happened. Here's how it happened. Here's what I did to fix it, or here's what I'm doing to fix it. And here's what I'm doing to make sure that it never happens again. They may not be happy with what you did, but you will come across in a really good light, right? People will feel confident in your ability, not only because you took control and you took ownership and you took accountability for it, but because you did all the things that you would need to do, right? You are a human being. Mistakes happen, but you did everything you needed to do to rectify it. So now I'm going to share with you exactly what I did in this instance with this reporter to handle my mistake, because it happened. So first I took like 20 deep breaths because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. This is so bad, especially because she was on a deadline, and I emailed her immediately. I didn't let it sit. As soon as I realized I had made the mistake, I emailed her immediately. And I said, 1, I'm so sorry, right? This is really important. If you screw up, and you did something really wrong, you need to apologize, right? So I said, I am so sorry. And then I told her what happened. I said, hey, I obviously missed our meeting, and I didn't go into all of the details because in this specific example, like, she didn't need the whole litany of, my lack of notifications and all of that. I just let her know the kind of bare minimum facts of what had happened and how it had happened. And then I told her what I was going to do to fix it. And so I said, you know what? I know you're on a deadline. If you're still willing to interview me, I will happily rearrange my schedule so that I can meet you whenever makes sense for you. But maybe you can't do that. I get it. You're on a deadline. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this topic of being on a disconnected vacation, and I found an article that I'd written. I sent that to her. And I also gave her a bunch of bullet points and quotes that she could use in her article, even if she couldn't interview me. So I gave her what I could so that she could still get her article done on time. And then I fixed it, right? So she didn't need to know in this case what I was doing to fix it, but it was still important to me to fix it, to make sure that I was going to fix it so that it never happened again. And so what I decided is a couple of things, right? If I ever decide again to take some sort of meeting on a Friday, a day I don't usually work, then I am going to add an alarm to my phone for 5 minutes before whatever that meeting is, and I'm going to add a name to that alarm. I don't need to change my notifications or anything like that. I found a solution that is going to work for me going forward. So the next time you make a mistake, and I'm sorry to say it is going to happen, try out this framework. Ask these 4 questions of yourself, give the other person the answer, and see how it feels. See how you come out of it. So as a reminder, it's just, what happened? How did it happen? What are you doing to fix it? And what are you doing to make sure it never happens again? Now, if you like this kind of content, why don't you give me a follow, and then you'll get it in your feed every single week.